Welcome, everyone, to the Hot Ones Challenge. We've got the birthday boy, Yves Batoba, for his 30th birthday. And because of the popular show made by First We Feast on YouTube, we decided, let's put this guy through the Wings of Death Challenge. The former corner for Oklahoma State, the former player engagement at the Miami Dolphins, the current VP of player development at Neo Star Football, the host of the Good Evening podcast, and the best man at my wedding, Yves Batoba.
My guy.
Well, when we were roommates at Oklahoma State, I didn't really ever see you reaching for any spicy food. So how do you think you're going to be able to handle these wings?
I feel all right. I feel pretty good about it. Whenever I was growing up, there was this pepper called pile pile in Congo. And it was, at the time, one of the spiciest peppers on earth, definitely on the continent. So I grew up eating that. So, but we'll see. We'll see what this is about.
He's about to do better than me. All right, here we go. Let's start off with wing number one, the classic hot sauce at 1800 Scoville.
I ain't nothing. We're
good. So far, so good. Well, you grew up in Dallas, but what made you choose Oklahoma State as your college home?
Growing up here, whenever you're in Texas, I was definitely a big Texas Longhorn fan, but I wasn't good enough to make to get the grades, I guess. But Oklahoma State actually had one of two sports media programs at the time, back in 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. So I decided I wanted to do that because, sports media was the route that I wanted to go. So they ended up offering me an academic scholarship. So I chose Oklahoma State because of academics with the sports media program. Funny enough, after the first year, I ended up switching majors anyway. But by that point, I already fell in love with with OSU, with the campus, with the whole heritage and the culture. So I was stuck in there, and I loved it.
Nice, yeah. That's the way it works sometimes, and I'm glad it worked out that way.
Yeah, man, definitely.
All right, moving on to the garlic and pepperoncini. I think maybe my favorite one out of the wings. And we're only at number two, so let's see how it goes then.
That's good.
Only 3,900 Scoville here.
Take 2 bites of that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seemed like you almost always had music playing on when we were roommates at Oklahoma State. So what would you say is your favorite pump-up song? And then, to follow that up, what would you have as your go-to karaoke if you had to choose a song for karaoke?
Okay, so favorite pump-up song, definitely whenever I was playing, I listened to a lot of Meek Mill. Meek Mill got me going. Even before the Dreams of Nightmare and all that stuff came out, but his old mixtapes. Nowadays, it's funny because I can get pumped up to just about anything. Sure, I be listening to country music. Sometimes I listen to podcasts whenever I'm working out. It gets me going. As far as karaoke songs, it's got to be something like my favorite R&B artist of all time is Usher. So I'll go and put on what's the song? You Remind Me. Mm-hmm. Right? Once you hear that, everybody starts singing along. It's a wrap.
Anytime you can get somebody singing along with karaoke to cover up your own voice, it's probably a good thing.
And by the end of the song, I'm not even singing anymore. Everybody else is singing for me.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But we good.
And if you're listening to podcasts when you're working out and that's getting you pumped up, you're old. So welcome to the 30s.
It's classy over here, man.
There we go.
Y'all good.
All right, wing number 3. We've got Shaquanda's hot pepper sauce at 10,100 Scoville. So we're ramping it up a little bit here.
10,100. Okay. Good flavor, too.
Not bad.
I get down with that. Not bad.
So you've said that Coming to America is your favorite movie. There's a funny line in there from Eddie Murphy where he says, "When you think of garbage, think of Akeem." So fill in the blank for me. When you think of blank, think of Yves.
I would say steady. When you think of steadiness, think of Yves. One of the things that I pride myself on is just kind of always being, the same person. No matter how big the moment is, no matter how small something is, I try to keep it as steady as possible, so that I'm reliable. That's composure is one of the things that I try to focus on, right, in any situation, in any moment. So when you think of steady, think of Eve.
I can attest to that. We did try to give you a surprise birthday party and surprise you, and you just kind of like...
Nah, hey, look, I was surprised. I was legit shocked.
But you were steady, so...
Yeah, I'm going to keep it
we'll
composed,
agree with that, yeah.
regardless. Even when I get excited, it's still in a composed manner.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Well, you also have a saying that I feel like I hear constantly, or I see on Twitter. It's never miss a Monday. So what would you say is your inspiration for that?
Set the tone for the week. I think that the way that you show up at the beginning determines how the rest of the week is going to go. So my big thing is, in sports especially, they tell you finish strong.
Right.
I think it's just as important to start strong. You start strong and you finish stronger. So that's why I always say never miss a Monday, because that sets the tone for how the entire week is going to go. That's with the workouts, it's with career, that's, whatever else. So never miss a Monday. That Monday routine has to be on point.
All right. You're motivating everybody. Inspiring.
I tried, man.
What's up? All right, here we go to number 4. We got the Los Calientes Barbacoa, the newest sauce in 2021.
Los Calientes.
At the 33,000 Scoville level. So
Okay.
ramping it up again.
It's not bad. 34,000?
33? No?
That's
that
it.
level? Not bad, right? A little bit though. I feel it a little bit.
I'm all right.
Well, at one of my first jobs, I got annoyed at customers who tried to use multiple coupons at the same time in the checkout line, okay? And especially if they were expired and they were trying to say like, just, let it go through or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'd get annoyed at me because, I'm trying to do my job the right way and not get fired. But at your first job as a cashier at Target,
That's right. Yeah.
did you have anything that annoyed you or stood out to you? Do you have any, I guess, funny stories to share about something like that?
Target. The biggest thing for me at Target was you learn patience. I always say like the most important job that I ever had was working as a cashier at Target, because you're dealing with a whole bunch of different people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to create small talk, communicate, try to make somebody's day. The thing about me though is my name tag. My name is spelled Yves,
Right.
so everybody would always try to come and pronounce it differently. So I heard Yves often. I heard Ivies. One of the laziest pronunciations of my name was somebody came through and said, Yves? I'm like, yo, you just said the first letter and then just butcher the rest of it. But Eve, the S is silent, and then in French, whenever the Y is at the beginning of a word, it just makes the E sound. So Eve, it's a lot easier than it looks. But yeah, man, hearing all the different people's pronunciations and trying to correct them, that was always interesting. It was always fun.
That was my one thing that I can claim about. I never mispronounced your name.
There you go.
Because I waited for somebody to say your name first, and I was like, I'm just going to get it right the first time. I'm not even going to try to attempt it.
That's why you're my guy. Unlike Coach Gundy. Coach Gundy looked at my name and he said, yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one. Well, yeah, man.
Insane. All right. Wing number 5, it's another Los Calientes.
So
But
two
it's-
Los Calientes.
Yeah, but this is the original one
Gotcha.
that came out a little bit while ago. But it's a little bit hotter, actually. So
A little bit hotter.
only a little bit more, 36,000.
36.
Probably my second favorite.
Okay. That one tastes good. I like that. That might be my
it's
favorite so far.
That's a good tasting one. And it does have that little kick there. Kind of creeps up
Yeah, it's
on
got a
you.
kick. Yeah, definitely that aftertaste. I feel that a little bit.
Well, Hot Ones has a segment on their show called Explain That Gram, where they basically dive into the guest's Instagram, find some pictures that maybe need a little bit more context.
Okay.
And so we're gonna pull up a couple of pictures here and see if you can give us a couple more backstory about what's going on here. So this first one here, it looks like you in, I don't even know, what is that, third grade maybe?
That one was, fourth grade. No,
Right.
yeah, fourth grade.
Emmett Smith. Why'd you pick Emmett Smith?
No haircut. No.
Your
Yeah,
only jersey,
honestly,
it says, so.
Yeah, that's the only jersey I've ever owned until my wife actually got me a Dirk Nowitzki jersey a couple years ago. But, I didn't know anything about football. We're not a sports family whatsoever. So of course, whenever you grow up in Texas, it's a religion over here. But I think my mom just brought it home one day. I put it on, but eventually I became a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. And of course, being a Dallas Cowboys fan, I always say to myself, I don't want to own a jersey of anybody who I feel like isn't a legend, right? So that Emmitt Smith jersey, that was, I don't know, it was just a great jersey, man. It was a great jersey. I think he's definitely one of the greatest running backs of all time after Barry Sanders. And of course, you got the I Heart Jesus.
Got the lanyard, yeah.
Yeah, the lanyard with I Heart Jesus, because of my faith, because I'm a Christian. But shoot, I probably wore that lanyard for years until it got dirty and turned black on me.
And then this next one here, you're rocking the Miami Marlins alternate jersey.
Yeah.
But you've got Congo for your last name as kind of your nickname on here. So give us a little bit more detail on what's going on here.
Man. Democratic Republic of Congo is where I'm from. It's always going to be a part of who I am, right? It's always, within me. One of the things that I always say is like, in this country, you say you're African American, but I always say like I'm more American African because in my roots, deeply, I'm African that has been Americanized. So I always thought that growing up, I always held on to African ideals, traditional African values, meanwhile still navigating American culture. So it's like whenever I was at home, I'm speaking French, I'm eating African food, I'm doing all this stuff that's very much Congolese. But then whenever I would walk out of the front door, it's like, all right, you have to understand how to navigate these spaces.
Sure.
But it actually took me a little bit of a while even to just fully embrace, like, yo, I'm Congolese and I'm proud of it. I can't be ashamed of it. And in that caption, I put, we come from where most don't break free. We had to learn why caged birds sing. Congo is one of the richest countries in the world as far as minerals. I think it's $15 trillion worth of like raw resources. Wow. But the citizens live like some of the poorest citizens in the world. So I say, we come from where most don't break free. We had to learn why caged bird sings because you feel caged in. But the thing that I love about Congo is people learn how to create their own ambiance. It's like circumstances are tough. Life is hard for a lot of people. But at the same time, you have to learn how to, kind of create your own joy, right? Sing your own music, dance your own music. Congo is actually very well known for their dances and for the music. Soukous is a style of music that's been popularized within Congo. But it's what we have to do. It's like what we have to do in order to just be able to survive within, that country that has been, unfortunately, so poverty-stricken, extreme poverty. But we're still a proud people. We're a people who love our culture. We love our heritage. We love being Congolese. And whenever you look at the history of Congo, at one point we were really thriving, especially in the early 70s. Up until 1977, you had the highest rated sports program ever in history, right? Whenever it was, Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman at the Rumble in the Jungle. So it was thriving. And then, corruption and all these other things influenced the country to the point to where it's, unfortunately the citizens, live like some of the poorest citizens in the world. But we still find a way to, to sing as caged birds. So
that's real.
Yeah, man, those are my roots right there. I love it.
Love it. That's great. All right, moving on to wing number 6. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Man, I don't feel it.
A little bit. All right.
Nah, we good.
But here we've got Hellfire's Devil Blend hot sauce.
So we're going straight to hell.
42,000 Scoville. So, whoo! Here we go.
36 to 42. Oh shoot, that's good. I wasn't pretty at all. I feel all right there.
To overcome this devil's blend, let's talk about Jesus for a minute. You mentioned earlier you got the I Love Jesus lanyard. Well, we had the teachings of Jesus in history class in college together. Yeah. And I remember you recognizing pretty early on that Jesus was very strategic with the way that he went about his ministry. Mm-hmm. What is one strategic moment or just a teaching of his that has left a lasting impression on you?
This is my life verse, right? Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of Christ Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added on to you. Verse 34 goes on to say, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Focus on today, because today has enough troubles of its own. And to me, that just reminds me that with every single day, I just need to have enough faith for that day, right? Can't think too far ahead. And God is already in the future. That's the best part about the future, that he already exists there. So for me, it's how can I seek the kingdom of God in the day that I'm in, and make sure that I can maximize that as much as I can. So that's something that's always resonated with me as far as the way that Jesus lived his life. And he had to spend that time with God, with God the Father, in order to carry out his assignment and fulfill God's will for his life that day. Right? Not in the future, but that day. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Well, shameless plug. I know we started watching The Chosen together a little bit here.
Yeah,
so you guys got to check that out.
Really
that shows a pretty good depiction of, it looks like maybe
Jesus'
relationship with
you and I had a lot of theological conversations. I think you opened up my eyes to a lot of things scripturally that I never even thought of before, especially like whenever you would explain things scientifically to me, and I was just like, dang, like whenever you go and you look at that and you realize just how big and vast God is, creating the universe in the way that he did, but all the way to like the specifics of having 30,000 muscles on the head of a caterpillar, right? A God that is so big and so vast, but he cares about the minute details. And it just goes to show, like, he has the whole world in his hands, like the nursery rhyme says, but at the same time, he cares about you, the specific individual, right? Omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. So
sure, there's a lot of people that try to separate science and religion as two separate things, but it kind of makes me laugh. Every time I look at deeper and deeper in science, I see more gods. So.
Exactly. Science is just more proof of who God is.
Love it.
Yeah, man.
All right, moving on to wing number 7. We've got Dawson's Original Hot Sauce.
Dawson's Creek.
And it's at 82,000 Scoville. So
82K,
the original is...
Ooh!
Yeah.
We're jumping from 40 to 82?
Just get on board with it.
All right. Seventh wing. Smooth. That might be my second favorite one.
That one's your second favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Behind Los Calientes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you could be the most dominant athlete in any sport, which sport would you pick?
If I could be the most dominant athlete in any sport. I think some of the most impressive athletes in the world are basketball players. One, for the stamina, right? You're running miles
every game,
right? Every single game, but also to the athletic ability that's required to be able to, to dunk, to dribble, hand-eye coordination, all these different things. I'd want to be like a LeBron James, level type of athlete. But at the same time, I think that because it's such a global game, you can have influence. You can have influence with the type of accolades or even the type of recognition that comes from being a dominant athlete in a sport that basically the whole world watches and cares about. So, yeah, basketball that'd be it for me.
Nice. And then if you're that dominant, you put to rest all the GOAT chat, and they just know that it's Yves Batoba.
That's it. But also, with that being said, like my favorite sport, I think that football is the greatest team sport that's ever invented. If football was as global as basketball is, as soccer is, I'd be a quarterback. I'd be a QB in football to have that same type of influence, globally. Well, yeah.
And the GOAT chat would still be very much alive because I'd still might pick Tom Brady.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Well, if you have a son in the future, will you let him play football?
Yeah, if he wants to. Yeah, he wants to.
Simple as that.
Go ahead and play it. But he's going to play football, but he's definitely going to be well-rounded as well in other areas, right? As hard as he goes on the field, he has to go as hard in the books, off the field, and everything else. So.
All right. On to number 8, we've got the Torchbearer Sauces Honey Badger. And Honey Badger don't care. Sitting here at 99,000 Scoville.
All right. 99K.
Ooh. A little honey mustard flavor there.
Yeah, that one's whack, bro.
And then that comes...
That flavor sucks. That just tastes bad. It's not even that it's hot. It just don't taste good. It's not even that it's hot. It just don't taste good. It's not even that it's hot. It just don't taste good. What's this one called?
Honey Badger?
Yeah, he didn't care when he made that one.
You gonna go for the water here? Woo! Yeah, that's it.
We don't make it.
Well, as some of the biggest fans of The Office, you and I have been known to fleece it out when we're not going Mach 5.
Right.
What would you say is your favorite cold opening?
Cold opening from The Office? Oh, hands down. The first episode I ever watched from The Office was the fire safety episode. So,
First
what was
one's
it?
the best one?
Yeah. He starts it off. He says, "What Dwight?" Opening monologue. He's talking about today. Smoking will save lives, and then everything goes chaotic. Throw the cat up to the roof. Everything falls off. But hands down, that episode it sucked me in, and then it led me to want to watch the entire series. And yeah, I think that's something that we bond on even regularly, like probably on a regular basis, weekly. We talk about something that happened within the office, and we quote that all the time too.
All the time, classic.
Michael Scott is maybe one of the greatest TV characters ever created.
He's up there.
By the way.
He is up there.
By the way, PY, if you're watching this, PY, The Office is freaking great.
All right, ready to move on to wing number 9. Now, normally on Hot Ones, this is in the 8 spot, but everybody struggles with it. So I put it at 9 for us because we're just amateurs out here. We're not at the celebrity status yet. And this is sitting at 135,600.
All right.
I've never had this one. I'm nervous.
Lips are burning a little bit. What's this one called?
Da Bomb Beyond Insanity. Product of Kansas City.
Shout out to KC. Best barbecue. Yo, that thing slaps you right away. God damn. Woo, nose hair is about to fall off.
Bruh, I'm about to... Pat Mahomes going to have to get traded.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Eve.
Boy.
Why is it stuck in my throat? All right, Eve, you've worked with several NFL players who have unexpectedly gotten traded, somewhat out of nowhere. And as someone who has moved across the country for your career multiple times, what's some advice that you would give to somebody who's unexpectedly needing to move across the country?
Hold over.
Why is it so hot? Why is it not going away?
Go in it with an open mind. Go in with it with open mind, soft heart. I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is good things often come from change. More often than not, something positive is going to come. Ooh.
Don't lick your lips. Careful around the eyes.
Something good is going to come from change, bro. That's the biggest thing that I can give to anybody who's experiencing something that's taking them outside of their comfort zone. Great things don't ever come from being inside of your comfort zone. So, yeah. Go out there and take it on with a full... yeah, with an open heart. Open mind.
I don't know what you just said, but all right. Let's move on to the last one.
God,
this is the Last Dab, XXX, 2 million plus Scoville. Hot Ones calls it the Last Dab because it's tradition around there to put a little dab on the last one. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I mean, I'm going to, so.
Oh, I can't be no punk. What'd you do? I did way more than you.
Why did you do that much? Make me look bad. Okay. I'm not going any more than that.
Bro, that burns, bro.
Let's just get it over with. Cheers. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Bruh.
What? Why do they do this?
Oh my god. I don't see how anybody can take more than one bite of that. But we're gonna power through it.
My brain is off. What is... Alright, Eve. Desert Island. If you're stuck on a desert island, what 3 movies would you bring that you'd have to watch over and over?
Not a big movie buff. Yo, I'm shivering.
You're not a big...
Why am I shivering? This supposed to be hot. Shivering, dog. Coming to America.
Right.
Lay
up there.
Shoot, Coming to America. Guy has something that just like is something that's mindless that I could just watch, like The Lion King.
Okay.
Probably end up going with like The Lion King. And then third, let's go with like New Jack City.
I don't even know what that is.
Good crime movie.
Okay.
You know, nice little thriller. Good action in it. So just to keep the imagination flowing.
Well, you did it. The Wings of Death, 10 up, 10 down. You made it for your 30th birthday. Hopefully you're still here tomorrow. Hopefully
It'll be all right.
you can turn 31 next year. Whew. We made it.
I'm gonna turn 31.
All
Bro.
right,
What should be
all right.
hopefully? I'm turning 31.
All right. This camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
You know, as you said, I'm working with NeoStar Football Athlete Representation Agency. The agency's been around for about 40 years now. My big purpose right now is just to empower athletes to be able to reach their full potential, right? Engage, educate, and empower athletes to reach their full potential both on and off the field. I think during their career, but I think even more important, whenever they're done with their playing days. But it's important that they are able to leverage what they're doing right now. So a couple of things I'm not able to talk about that I'm doing, but, you know, we've been active, especially with name, image, and likeness happening right now in the collegiate space. It's taking a lot of my time and attention right now. And some other exciting things that are in the works that are going to come out pretty soon. But, yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, and that's what I'm excited about.
All right. Congratulations, Eve. All right. Good job, buddy.
Wow. And that's a wrap.
Cut.
You guys, Nathan's going to do 10.